What's the difference between an A book exchange and a B book exchange? Basically, whether or not the exchange provides the liquidity itself, or whether they get the liquidity from a third-party funding source, right? So for example, Prime XBT as an exchange uses a third-party lender to provide their leverage. So Prime XBT only makes money if you make money. They get a commission on the money you borrow. A book, so that would be an example of a B book exchange, right? An A book exchange, and like Bybit and BitMEX are A book exchanges. Some of the exchanges, it's hard to find out whether they're A book or B book. I've been going on their contact us sections to try and ask questions and find out. Some of them don't know the answer, aren't getting back to me, or don't want to say, I don't know which. So at some point in future, we'll probably do a more detailed video on this when we have a little bit more information. But some of the exchanges, when they're an A-book exchange, the exchange itself, like Bybit, provides its own funding to provide you leverage. So in fact, when you make money, Bybit loses money, right? So you will notice on the A-book exchanges, there's a little bit more volatility. There's more of these really big wicks. And that's because the exchange itself is trading against the traders on the exchange, right? Because they don't want too many people to win too often, or they don't make money as an exchange, which is fair in business, right? But it's important to know which type of exchange you're dealing with. So when you're dealing with an A-book exchange, using really tight stop losses, you're actually going to get wicked out way more often, right? But if you're on a B-book exchange, using tight stop losses can be a really solid strategy, because especially if you're scalping or you're using really tight trades, it's less risky that the exchange itself is just going to wick down and take your trade out, right? So I think it's important to understand the scenario you're under in terms of which type of exchange you're trading on when deciding, are you going to use the really tight stop losses versus are you going to use the really long stop losses? The third scenario I think is really important to consider when you think about whether you use tight stop losses or really wide stop losses is just the fact that we are in a decentralized, deregulated industry here when we're talking cryptocurrency, right? This is the only time there are commodities that can be traded where there is no third-party regulator looking over the shoulders of the traders. So not only do we know market manipulation is happening, there's no way to stop it, right? So when you think about that, crypto trading is a bit like the Wild West, right? Like there might be a sheriff in town, but the sheriff is basically just the YouTubers that are calling people out. When they do market manipulation, there's no regulatory body that's going to call people out on it, right? So
BitBoy crypto and cryptos are us. Right? They're out shutting down.
You know, and you know, there's some of the really big YouTubers do a really good job of finding out and calling out some of these manipulations. But the reality is, trading crypto means you're accepting a certain amount of that is going on. So using really tight stop losses doesn't necessarily work in terms of risk management. Better to use smaller trades and just know that you are risking the whole trade if your stop loss is just above the liquidation point. So you might only be trading 3% or 5% of your portfolio in any one trade in order to have an effective risk management strategy.
And in this market, low leverage, like, you know, stick to 3x, 5x, 7x, 8x, 10x, depending on how experienced you are, unless it's a really short scalp that you're 100% sure of. And even then I would go in lower leverage and scale into the higher leverage. I wouldn't go in at 25x or more than that, because you could get liquidated or stopped out very quickly in the market that we're in.
If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a blue thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and select all so you'll receive notifications when we upload new videos. Thank you to those of you who've made donations to our channel. All donations received go to support infrastructure projects we do here in our conscious community in Costa Rica. They help provide additional jobs and wonderful infrastructure that helps bring in more tourists to this region. So your contributions do make a really big difference to the people in this area. We also run an advanced mastermind group of volunteers who help us research different scenarios for the price action of Bitcoin. We meet weekly. We discuss things that we might want to dive back into the charts and research, and we help each other and discuss those scenarios. In future, we will be playing additional videos on scenarios that can affect the price of Bitcoin, and many of the things that that mastermind comes up with will become videos on this channel. So if you would like to join that mastermind, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to have more people involved. The more people there are, the less work it is for any one of us, and the more solid all of our trading becomes. Thanks for watching Conscious Crypto, and until next time, trade consciously.